This is a complete disaster. Castle Arts has become one of the most popular pencil brands out there. Millions of artists trust them. They're featured in art magazines and rank way up there with more expensive brands like Prismacolor and Faber-Castell. So when a brand this trusted puts a set in your hands, you assume that a little booklet that comes with it can also be trusted. Turns out that's not always the case. This booklet doesn't just give vague and confusing advice, it tells you to do things that will actually ruin your drawing or coloring entirely in one sweep. This is the Watercolor portrait set from Castle Arts. I've already used this on 2 portraits following my own steps as a lifelong artist and an art teacher. If anyone here doesn't know who I am yet, I'm Lisa Mitrakin. I own and run a famous online school called It's Easy to Draw. You've wandered into our YouTube channel. Welcome. So I kind of know what I'm doing when I draw a color. Naturally, I didn't even look at the instructions at first, but one day, out of curiosity, I did. This booklet claims that if we follow these steps, we'll get to a result this smooth. In step 1, Castle Arts invites us to either freehand draw an outline of a portrait or download this template from the Castle Arts website. What template? There's no QR code, there's no direct link. I went to the site and I got tired of doom scrolling. I never found the template. So naturally, I drew my own. And I want to share it with you. And guess what? This one's easy to find. Just scan this QR code or click on the link below the video. And grab your very own pretty character to color along with me. Castle Arts appears to be working on toned and textured paper, so that's what we're going to do as well. This is my favorite recycled paper from Strathmore called Art Again. As you can see, my way is already completed on the left side of the screen, and worry not, I'll show you exactly what I did. Okay, step 2. Add darker neutral tones to begin to capture the shaded contours of our subject's face and hair. I'm using one of the suggested colors to shade exactly as they demonstrate in their picture. Actually, I had to stop and hold myself back, slow down, and use more obvious and brushy strokes like theirs. On my version of the coloring, I actually started with the same pencil, but notice how much more thorough and precise my shading is. I also covered most of the entire face, already introducing gradient transitions and establishing a suggestion of a light source. My first color took significantly longer than theirs, but hey, it's for science, we gotta do what they want. They claim it's all gonna come together in the end. Step 3 tells us to bring a subtle brightness to the composition with a layer of color to the lips and areas of the skin and eyeline. Using some of the suggested pink and peach colors, I'm doing just that. Again, they're not touching most of the face, they're simply adding the pink over the brown. So we do precisely that. On my version, here's where we go completely separate ways. And here's also where I put my coloring on hold for you. Let's first complete all of the steps in the Castle Arts experiment, and once you see how horribly it fails, I will show you the right way to use watercolor pencils. So back to Castle Arts for now. Step 4 tells us to layer in our natural colors and add a depth of color to the petals. We're not working with the flowers, but I can see that they added depth of color to the lips as well. At this point, I'm starting to get nervous and confused. I don't see how this will ever turn into anything that they promised. I'm also noticing that the descriptions are getting more and more sparse and have less and less to do with what's actually showing in the picture. There's clearly more definition around the eyes now. The eyebrows and the lips and the line work all appear to be darker and more defined. None of that is described in the written text. So I decided to follow the images and add more of the bright pink color to the eyeshadow, as they did, and to the lips, as they clearly did. And also a little bit overall shading to the face, matching what I see on the pamphlet. Step 5 tells us to add color to the eyes. Again, the outlines are getting darker and darker, but none of that is mentioned, described, or explained. It looks like they only added blue to the eyes. There's no black in the irises, there's no makeup, just blue. We do what they say, we match the picture. I have no idea at this point how this will ever work. And here it gets crazy. We make this huge leap from 5 to 6, where suddenly it just magically looks like a smooth and beautiful portrait. How? We never did any of the work on the lips, on the eyes, we never added the eyelashes or the irises, we never did the nostrils, we never completed the mouth. They just say add black to the background, so maybe during that stage we were supposed to add black to the eyes as well? I'll try that. They say, using a delicate brushwork, blend the pencil work and create soft, natural watercolor effects. And that's it. It's supposed to just poop out a perfect portrait. There are also no steps after this. The water, allegedly, will just bring everything together. Okay, I'm in all the way. Let's add water. But first, let me show you how I actually accomplished my beautiful and smooth and realistic portrait, because that will help you understand how the water step, according to the Castle Arts instructions, can never work. Remember when we split ways in step 2? Castle Arts continued shading with color and I had just completed my first layer of brown shading. Here's the real secret to watercolor pencil success. The actual correct way of doing this is to add water now. Yes, it may look patchy and scary, and it may be warping the page, making it all wavy and bulgy, but it's serving a very important role. The warped paper will settle down on its own in just 2 or 3 minutes, so worry not about that. Cardstock and Strathmore paper can both handle this with ease. The important thing in this step is that the water layer is allowing the pigment to sink into the paper, creating a smooth distribution of pigment. It doesn't look very smooth, you might be thinking. Well, yes, it's a little bit patchy because of the nature of water itself. It's spreading the pigment, creating these pooling effects, like painting with tea or coffee. The smoothness that I'm referring to is the smoothness of the pigment distribution as it flows within the tooth of the paper. What this priming layer allows us to do now is to continue adding detail, shading, and blending over it without having to grind the pigment into the page. We don't need to keep our fingers crossed that the final water layer will magically bring everything together. We're in complete control of everything from now on. Look at what happens when I add the same colors as they suggest, but now over the dried water layer. To be fair, this technique does take quite a bit longer. This portrait took me 2 hours to complete, not nearly complete, while their version sits at around 20 minutes. But look at how natural and realistic this skin tone is already looking. Most of the process of actually creating portraits with watercolor pencils is in layering and blending, just as we would with dry pencils. The strength of water-activated pencils is that underpainting layer that fills in the pores of the page. That's the secret sauce. And here's where I need to make something absolutely clear. Just because I think that Castle Arts instructions on this particular set suck, doesn't mean that I think the pencils do. I actually love this set, so much so that I'm doing my 3rd portrait this month with this set. The quality of the product is top-notch, which is exactly why I'm so shocked to see a booklet which is basically undermining us. The white pencil in this collection is particularly impressive. It actually acts as a gorgeous blender and allows us to add a natural shine to the face. Castle Arts, in their booklet of lies, overlooked their own white pencil entirely, which is really weird because they have us working on toned paper. What's the point of working on toned paper if you're not bringing in white highlights? It's like, here's a great product and here's how to use it in a way that will make you cry. Why? Why Castle Arts? I'm using black differently from their method as well. I use it for details. Instead of just adding it to the background, which by the way they totally did digitally, but we're gonna let it slide, I'm adding it to the sharpest, strongest details of the eyelashes, the nostrils, and the darkest pools within the hair shadows. And I think you get the idea at this point. No need to finish this one little lock of hair and the rest of the neck. Ready to find out what happens when we add water to the Castle Arts experiment? Here we go. We followed all the steps and without any instructions on how to actually add water in water mounts and with what type of a brush or any information whatsoever, I'm starting gently and slowly with a small acrylic brush. And wow, oh wow, this is not good. Not at all. Okay, let's try broader strokes and maybe a bit more water. Let it blend the colors, maybe? Nope. Nothing works. This is what we in the industry call a disaster. I'm glad I only spent maybe 20 minutes on their suggested way of shading. If I had done my 2-hour shading and layering and now added water like they say, I'd be pissed. There's no way this could have ever worked. No way. I don't know what they were thinking. You can't control the color gradients, you can't smooth out the color transitions, you can let it dry completely and then add more color, but that's literally what we did in my version. And we did it early enough in the project that we had complete control the entire time. In both methods, water was used majorly only once, but one method uses water in a way that's beneficial to all steps afterwards, and the other left it for last, throwing you at the mercy of pure chance. So there you go, friends. Trust but verify. Just because a brand is popular doesn't mean their marketing department knows what they're doing. If you get this set, which I actually genuinely hope you do, I even dropped the link below, tear up this booklet and throw it in the trash. And follow this video coming up next to create beautiful and safe results. Guaranteed.